Hmm. Yeah, Brilliant wins at Sense Motive.
All
So you have
right.
the relativity advantage.
Just barely.
Very tooth and nail, and lots of gifts later, and just sort of like
Yep.
haggling and haranguing with the alchemist. Managed to hammer out an advantage in treaty negotiation, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep it balanced here.
All right, we go for a balanced treaty.
Yep, which will increase our kingdom's fame by 1.
Yeah, the alchemist is certainly, he recognizes that Rillanid is certainly a brilliant talker and negotiator, and he recognizes that Rillanid actually had the advantage in the discussion. But Rillanid settling for a fair and balanced treaty makes the alchemist quite pleased, actually.
We don't have a section to mark down fame anywhere on the spreadsheet. I think our fame, though, is 2 now.
Yeah, we need to add that, I think.
That should be too hard.
Let's see, there wasn't one. No, there wasn't one.
Yep, our fame is currently 2.
You'll need
Same infamy counter, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we need both of it.
One for the starting thing, and another one for the Rillanid just fucking using his amazing intellect and charisma and his stone mask. Great
Sharpening the
poker
alchemist.
face. Yep. There we go.
So yeah, let's see, 10% of the other kingdom's economy.
Of course, hard to say. In this case, he would be getting like a plus 1%, like plus 1 con from us.
Yeah, exactly.
10%, that would be 0.8, which would be rounded down, which would be nothing.
Let's see how much does San have, right?
Obviously, it's going to grow in power because we're going to get stronger. The economy as it currently exists with a little shitty fortress. You hush your mouth, you're not here.
Let's see, size.
So that was the potential deal Villanelle talked him into. We'll just split all our money half. Like, all for taxes,
All right. Your economy then increases by 3.
That's pretty good.
I'll
have a lot of economy.
I'll add it to the other section, I guess, and just add a little note there of where that's all getting from. Or really, not all getting from. Yes, all getting from.
Now, maybe you would also remember to get that wizard.
Oh no, I was totally gonna forget about that, Manaki.
Oh, good thing I remember.
Yeah, I'm glad you were on that. Since we're in such a great mood, and this would actually, I suppose, be something that's pitched more to the sage, because he would understand his underlings best. As we continue to grow and expand, we would like to understand our allies better, and sort of like the hopes of like understanding our allies better. We also know that some Zan are curious about what life is like outside of the fungal jungle and are looking to study and learn things more. In this case, Rillanid will offer the sort of golden opportunity. He brings like these extravagant but well-detailed and like manicured plans. He knows about engineering shit and arcana shit too. The whole prospect of basically, I guess, acting as patron for this sort of like this skilled like Zan who was knowledgeable and like arcane esoteria and about the nature of the jungle, who would be willing to move out of Zan and into a tower constructed to his specifications and his desires to fill with the tools that he might find useful, or it, to do whatever research it thought would be beneficial to itself or to the Zan people at large. In return, the Drow would appreciate this person whom they're patronizing, exerting a good amount of influence to help us as we attempt to grow our small barony in the hopes that we can better adapt to the landscape around us. We want to be in relative harmony with the fungal jungle, and we're at this time we have little familiarity with it. We're worried that we'll hurt it too much, that we'll just burn it down, and we don't want to burn it down. We want to get a better relationship and understanding with it so that we can improve and enrich not just our lives, but the lives of those around us. And in time, we'll consider the debt paid off, and then the Zan spellcaster will just have his own fucking tower where he can do whatever sorts of shit that he wants. And furthermore, this individual, should it so wish, could actually... There's an open position on the current ruling council for someone who can oversee magical affairs. And as such, the Zan, or this particular individual, would have a means by which to directly shape the influence of this new kingdom. Should he so be skilled or competent enough, or he wish, if not, then whatever the positions that are going to go to him.
Right. Yeah, the alchemist and the sage listens to this proposal, and they seem to consider a few things. The sage alchemist both say that any such member of the exam people moving to Vothys would, of course, try his best to obey the different laws that settlement have, but he would not really be considered a subject under the rule of you.
We understand. In this case, Rillanid would say that this caster tower can serve as sort of like an impromptu, embassy. In which case, while we would collect the benefits of it, the Zan person living here would be an ambassador. And we would treat it with the diplomatic courtesy and effect that this ambassador would deserve. Now, if the ambassador chooses to become a part of the ruling council, then it'll have to adjust to the laws and regulations that we stipulate and become more involved in our society. Otherwise, it can just live, secluded in its fucking tower for all we can. after it returns the favor.
Right. Yeah, they seem to discuss this with each other a bit, and the sage will then say that yes, he might have someone like that to follow Rillanid back. His second in command, in fact.
No.
Someone who is still young and curious and. Has the energy and inspiration for such long travels and research.
We understand that despite, the things that have happened in the past few months, Rillanid will express that he knows there's a lot of, distrust and motivations, and for the time being, we've served basically as just friends who've used each other, and Rillanid is definitely hoping that having this ambassador there, along with Miku, will help to better improve... at least demonstrate the intentions of this organization, of our fledgling kingdom. Yeah,
both the sage and the alchemist seems to think that this is a prudent course of action, and to treat the caster's tower and the dweller therein as embassy and ambassador seems a solution they can both accept.
In time, our kingdom is hoping to, perhaps construct a permanent embassy here within the city, but such is beyond our means right now, and we'd also want to properly train an appropriate individual. Racial injustice and tensions would preclude almost every drow. Which I'm sure is something that the alchemist and sage, having known of the drow for as long as they have, would assume readily.
Right. Yeah, then the alchemist and the sage calls in this new applicant to follow Rillanid back, and he's introduced as Zano II.
Oh man, look at him.
Yeah, he walks in. He has this strange coat sort of hanging from him. He is. He has a staff he uses as he's walking. From the staff hangs strange vials and things, and he has a book, in a chain from one, over one shoulder, basically. He looks around with strange alien green glowing eyes and looks at Rillanid and seems to be informed as he walks in what he. About the deal, and
right. Fucking Mindshare already told him about this shit long before he even walked in here.
Yep, absolutely did. And he will, make a somewhat unfamiliar bow towards Rillanid and say, "I am pleased to follow you back to your barony, Rillanid Vitharia. Acting as an ambassador for my people as well as utilizing the generous facilities you have put forward to my disposal, bow slightly again, will be most interesting. I look forward to many years of interesting research.
We are glad to have one who would volunteer to serve in this role, knowing our racial history. However, there is no need for you to hurry yourself immediately should you wish to have time to gather papers or commune with those whom you might not see for years.
Yeah, he nods and says, I am not that nostalgic, I think the word is. I will gather up my things and travel up to Vothys as soon as I can. I do believe you can expect me by the end of, sort of considers, the next month.
Oh, really nods. And you know, since we have like our own like little calendars and schedules, you'll briefly explain like the council works. And again, this second sage does not have to sit in. You know, the sage might wish to take time to learn about the setting and learn about its new tower before it agrees to be part of the council. But at least, you know, to consider the possibility, we do have an open position, and we'll fill it one way or the other.
Yeah, he says he will think on it. For now, though, he seems much more interested in the prospect of actual research than council work.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, like, combined with, like, the graphs of, like, you know, the drawings, the schematics of this building that Villainid himself planned, and you know, silent images of, like, how the thing look in individual details.
Yeah.
It's great.
So Son of the second stage seems very intrigued, and he asks like specific questions about the architecture and the laboratory layouts and stuff like that, and seems content with most of the answers.
It's fine. I mean, because, you know, I mean, my character, I mean, fucking lore master right there.
Let me tell you something!
I know how to build shit.
Architectural genius.
Let me tell you everything.
Yep. It's like, what's the question? No, you see, the bostrages must be placed there, because if they're not placed here, the additional weight of the alchemical creations will cause a sag in the stone structure, and thus cause the entire tower to collapse.
I see.
Yes.
All becomes clear to me now.
Yes. Alright, that's great. Well, you know, really will definitely stay, you know. Enjoy the site surroundings. I mean, he's important. He's a grand diplomat. You gotta represent the opulence and affluence of, this shit. I mean, I'm sure everyone's heard. I mean, did you see reeling in those negotiations, man? Haranguing?
Oh my god.
I actually got the better of the alchemist. Holy shit.
Oh, I don't know why we did that.
Was touch and go there for a bit. Oh, man. Who can say what's behind that mask?
When the alchemist questioned him about his knowledge and ability, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I thought it was all over.
And it really seemed like the alchemist knew more about the local surroundings. I mean, he's just too damn suave, that relative.
He's so handsome. I don't know.
That's great. If he's going to be around by the end of the month, that's great. I don't have to sit around to wait for him. Well, I guess he's going to take his time going back, Jonas. And just to summarize it, since he does have the capabilities to check, like, potential hexes for, like, sort of, like, you know, whether they're, like, quality enough to, like, be host to mining and shit, he's got plenty of time. He's in no rush to get back to Elinari.
Sure.
Him and his entourage. He'll spend some time poking and prodding and doing that in the north.
Sure. Do you have any specific hexes in mind?
Let's see. It takes 3 days per hex to explore.
Yep.
In that case, we've got, like, I don't know, like maybe a month and a half, whatever. He's going to be back at the end of the month, so, or he's going to be there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. We'll go down the line just in the middle. 705, 706, 707, 708, then 805, 806, and then 905, 906, 907, 908. That's 10. And then I'll make my way back to Vothys.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, back in Vothys.
We have a Sue.
They got back so fast. That's amazing. I checked watch, realized I spent like 2 weeks in Zan. Damn it.
Exactly. Oh. So
Time to
yes, what has happened in Vothys during all of this?
Well,
Are we
Oh,
back yet?
no, you're traveling still.
yeah,
We are
I'm
traveling.
saying.
Okay.
Oh,
Specifically on Nora and Trislan.
What about Elinara and Trislan?
Have they done anything else special?
have Elinari?
Well, Elinari has been ruling,
Oh,
doing her efforts, and of course walked around Vothys, inspecting the different amounts of work that's been done. She's most likely been answering some questions people and different council members have been having about what they should do in different cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that's much of what her times go with. She has been spending some time with Daria, Sebastia, just sort of talking about this and that. Trying to sort of probe her mind in different topics, if you will.
Sure.
well, as long as Elinari is sure she's not going to stab her in the back with all that poison she has, but that's fine. Trislan has been thinking hard about all this priestess stuff, thinking up what the whole I forgot what it's called in English. The whole affair with the Simon, hvordan siger man begivenhed på det engelsk? Event. The whole event with the art gallery, how it's gonna be, and what kind of days we should celebrate. And if Talon wants, she could sure do some lessons with him.
Sure. He'll show up.
Sure. That's fine.
All suave and elegant.
Just as planned.
Indeed.
That's at least what Tristan would be doing.
Okay. So then, by the end of the month, the second month, that is, I think the slaver group returns.
Well, let's see, it took us approximately 2 weeks to get up there, so... Yeah, consider a little bit more time because we got some travels. Maybe like halfway through the second one. Not the end, but...
Yeah,
we
like
return.
the second or third week of the second month.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah, we're carrying some dead weight here.
Yeah, well, you know, they have certainly
quite that
woken up
level.
by this point, unless you have like
Yes,
keep
but the point-
beating them into submission.
Well, the point stands is, they might not necessarily be... They're malnourished, and might not be able to travel very quickly.
Yeah, they're certainly not used to traveling through this place, and they are certainly mouth agape at all the weird stuff in the jungle and stuff like that.
Coughing up
Yes.
Our
spores.
first tourists.
Is this the first time any of us have seen humans?
Maybe you may have seen them in the slave markets of
Or
tourists.
slaves, yeah.
You wouldn't have seen many before. So yeah, we return through the door with 3 humans.
Into the
Well, then
palace?
what-
That seems a bit excessive.
Not the palace, probably not. Then would probably bring them directly
Palace.
to
Palace,
our
yeah.
good friend, the torturer.
Oh yes.
Torturer!
With the
Yeah,
instruction to get
there
as
he
much
is.
out of them as
Gorvar
possible.
Harak is can be found inside his chambers, which is in the keep.
I suppose we would store the prisoner somewhere and then go to him. And
You have a
ask him.
slave camp in the basement.
That's true.
Just
As
chain
long
them
as
to a
they
wall.
don't, as long as they can't escape from that, it's
Right,
fine.
this is what we do. We go into the basement, we chain them to the wall, we go get the torturer.
Isn't
Yeah.
the slave camp where the kobolds are?
Yes.
Yes, the kobolds can all see them chained to a wall.
It's now also a prison camp, I think.
Temporarily.
For,
Do we get
Really?
actual prison?
petty theft and such.
Share the
Just
slave
throw him down there with the
kobolds.
kobolds.
Work.
Yeah, Gorvar Harak is in his chamber, and when you enter, he looks up. He nods, "My lords."
We have some subjects for you.
Yes.
It was we did some missioning, and we may have run into some surface dwellers.
Yes,
No,
very
it's-
unfortunate for them. We would like to get some information from them. They were on some sort of mission, they say, after a vision from their leader. And of course, I'm quite curious.
A vision. Interesting. Sort of looks over his desk, where you can see a lot of different instruments of his trade, sort of, lined up, polished, very, very organized. Looks very sharp.
Good man, good man.
Do you wish me then to extract said information?
Why, yes.
Wonderful, he smiles.
And of course, you may enjoy your job while doing so.
It is, these days, it is more of a hobby, sadly.
Well.
He gets up. Very well, then. I shall attend to it immediately.
Yes, they're chained by the entrance to the slave camps for you. Do as you wish.
I assume you wish them in some sort of talkative condition when I am done.
Yes,
we have
that would be preferable.
It would be preferable, but the main thing is the information. Having at least one still able to speak would probably be good, though.
I will do my best. He smiles. He gets up. He seems to gather a few things. Like this weird harness thing he's wearing. And then he will stalk off.
Then we'll follow him because he wants to be present for whatever he does. First-hand information and stuff.
Oh, yes, of course.
Rain is going to do something else. Or more precisely, did they have actually anything of worth on them?
Well, it was a masterwork greatsword the captain guy had.
Okay.
Apart from that, war axes.
All right.
Armor-wise? Anything?
Armor-wise, it was basically leather armor, and I think the guy had...
It's 23 AC, so...
had a breastplate.
It's something.
It's something, yeah.
Yeah, means you can get like a 200 gold injection.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. If Rain wants to have carried that all the way through the fungal jungle, sure.
That's easy for me. That's fine.
Let's pile it up.
I'll work out the price of that. You can continue next bit.
Yeah, so Gorval certainly, plies his dread craft on these people. All the exquisite pain he can inflict. Yeah, they do scream, certainly, and moan, and he basically, hisses to them to speak or, speak up. And if Sin wants to ask certain questions now, certainly the time.
Well, he would, of course, ask, what is your quest or mission? It's not a Monty Python reference. Not supposed to be. What is your favorite color? Ah, I see.
Fascinating. They seem to be a little bit resistant in the beginning, and Gormal actually notices that they seem to have. I am not the first to apply my skills on these people. No, these markings here, these hooks and barbs, they have been tortured before, my lord.
Well, that is peculiar.
He sort of looks at. He sort of squints down at some scars while others endure some sort of torture. He looks at the one he's currently not sort of torturing and sort of in very intriguingly sort of traces this different scar tissue and stuff. Yes, I recognize some of these wounds and incisions, my lord.
I don't suppose you can tell me who made them? That would probably be too much to ask.
He turns around, my lord, who do you think you're talking to? I am Gora Kaval. I take my profession quite seriously. I do believe, pointing at the wounds, that these are inflicted by Duergar, my lord.
Duergar?
Yes, they have a crude but efficient way of torture. Not as skilled. or as exquisite as what we drow can dream up. He sort of looks longingly at one of them, hanging from chains or whatever.
That is most interesting indeed. And did they say anything about why they were traveling through the tunnel?
He shrugs. It seems that the good leader of the group, a man by the name of Thomas Handelman, he shrugs. I am not used to the surface dweller names, but that's what is said. He and the woman, Eleanor, apparently gathered together this other group of refugees, escapees from Druega slave pits and other places. It seems they were traveling from Cluddenwald, my lord.
Interesting.
As to the purpose, well, the captain, the leader of the group, has been somewhat resistant, but after plying my trade, he has agreed to talk to you, my lord.
To me, I see. Then we'll approach the captain and say,
Goro will sort of, step back a bit.
Then we'll just say, talk.
The captain is certainly ravaged. You see like terrible incisions and things Corval has done to him. He doesn't seem to have taken like permanent damage at this point, but he's certainly in a lot of pain, let's say. And he says with a sort of trembling voice, my terrible lord, if you will but spare us, I have seen a way out, my lord. I have seen a way to the surface, to the sunlit kingdoms, my lord. Beyond the entrance are other villages that you could raid for slaves if you will but spare us. I can deliver unto you more slaves and plunder that you can count.
And if I let you go, surely I can trust you, right?
I will travel with you, my lord, to this place. I will show you the way. I have seen it.
In your visions?
Yes, my lord.
Who or what sent you these missions? Missions? Visions?
He shakes his head. I do not know, my lord. It comes when I dream. But they are true. I have seen it. I can feel it, my lord. There is a way to the surface.
And you were former slaves who escaped from the Durga, I understand correctly?
Yes, my lord, from one of the dragon-tread fortresses to the far east. We escaped out. We were taken in a slave raid. I don't know how long ago. I have lost sense of time. But we managed to escape, make our way to Cluddenwald, and I managed to make a living as a god, my lord. But then I began to receive these visions, and I gathered together like-minded people to travel with me to the surface. We heard that there were dwarves, surface dwarves in these parts, my lord. We sought to entreat them, but now I am putting my plea with you, my lord.
Then, having heard enough for now, we'll just turn around and instruct Gorwald to keep these three alive for now, in case he wants to ask more questions later. But for now, he has to consider things. And probably inform, the rest of his siblings as well. The things he's heard. See their opinions on it. So he will go where probably everyone is, in the palace. I assume everyone is here because your tokens are here.
Well, we're not in the throne room.
Oh, well, this illustrates the tower itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in my private quarters on the third floor.
Well, then we'll just approach Elinari since she's probably sitting somewhere in the throne. Or somewhere.
She doesn't always do that. It's kind of boring.
She doesn't?
Out here.
Well, then we'll look for Alinari then.
Oh, you can find her.
On the phone.
No.
Does he bring in Tarlin, or does he leave this to the family?
That's what the family. Talon can go betray someone else. And then we'll approach Alinari and say, "Greetings, sister. I have returned from my endeavors."
Lindsay. Good. What information did you find?
Well, as you may know, we have intercepted a party of humans that came from the eastern part of the tunnel. It seems they have been slaves to the Durga in the past, but have escaped and are now looking for a way to the surface. Their leader is saying he had visions about an exit on entrance to the Underdark with dwarves and villages and other things. And he has offered to lead me there if I spare him.
She frowns, says, and has he given any indication as to how far away this is?
No, he has not. He seems to know the direction, I suppose, and the way, I suppose. Did he say anything how far away it was?
No.
Make him mark it on a map. Promise him his life, the other's life, whatever is necessary. If he refuses, you could, of course, hurt him or them or whatever is necessary to make him talk.
Yes, that seems interesting.
You will not waste time going above, however, knowing in what direction such a threat would come from. Certainly viable. We currently do not have the manpower to conduct slave raids anyway.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Sure, that seems decent enough. Did he say where the Durga fortresses were exactly? Just
Far to the east.
far to the east.
Beyond Claddon Vault, and it's basically so far away. That's yeah.
Okay. Sure. Then we'll just nod and leave and do whatever Zin does. Probably involving his bet.
Not go back and ask.
Ask what?